I love this ancient verse that talks about to transcend from one place to the next, we have to do it by faith. And that if we study the old, we study men and women that have done anything great in the eyes of God and the people, they had to move in faith. They had to interact with the unknown. They had to materialize and manifest dreams by stepping into the unknown or even into darkness. And darkness being the absence of light, not darkness being evil, but a place where actually God is there to meet us and uncover and unveil a new realm of life, a new realm of light, a new realm of conscious, a new hope for humanity, a new hope for people. And it's in this place of faith. And so one way to transcend from one place to the next is to move in the right belief system that God is for you, He's not against you. God is with you. God goes before you. God's above you, beneath you, to your left, to your right, inside and out. So if you're meditating, if you're praying, if you're connecting, if you're worshiping, if you're believing with other people, if you're in agreement, it says literally that Christ or Jesus is in the midst of you. And the amazing things that we can do agreement. But God specifically says anything that is not of faith is literally at enmity or at war with God. So He doesn't want us to get into positions of cyclical patterns or positions of where we're not operating in the system of faith, because He knows man without vision shall perish. He knows that actually our bodies and our souls, our mind, our will, and our emotions will start functioning in the ways that the Creator created them to be, and that our spirit man will tuck itself up and hide, because our spirit's supposed to be out, up, and around, to move and live and have our being in the Spirit as spiritual beings. And so God gave us this power and this force and this divine energy, this grace, literally to go from one place to the next. There's an old scripture that says to go from faith to faith or glory to glory. And what is the glory? Glory is not just for ourselves, but it's for all of humanity. It's for all of creation. So we know that pollution shouldn't be a problem. The emission shouldn't be a problem. Injustices around the world shouldn't be a problem when we're stepping out in faith, when we're being comfortable into the unknown, because in the unknown is just another opportunity. It's another meetup. It's another plan. The unknown is another opportunity to meet up with God, to meet up with your Creator. The unknown is a place of divine meetup. You always know when you're walking in the unknown and you're doing it in the intention of following the Spirit of God within you and the Spirit of God around you. When it's in the right intention, you know that you're setting yourself up for the position and the posture to meet with God. And how many know that when you meet with God, one encounter changes your lives? So it can not only be faith to faith and glory to glory, but it can be encounter to encounter. Now I believe in people that have been situated. It's not about amount of years. It's about faith. It's about faith. So God has you positioned. It's not about just running from one place to the next, but it is about faith. It's about a calculated faith, a relational faith. And so, how do we do it? How do we actually do it? Well, it's like anything. It's like a muscle. You build it up, and as you build it up, it begins to become home. You begin to become familiar with the process, and we all know a process will always lead to progress. It will always lead to a perfect progress. And we don't practice to become perfect. We practice perfect. We get good at practicing. We get good in the progress of knowing our surroundings. It's like, imagine if you know the story of Jesus. Imagine the disciples walking with Jesus. They never knew what was going to happen next, but I'm sure in their guts, now this isn't written, but I'm sure in their hearts, that they could feel when something was about to take place. And it began to become familiar when they were in a place of unknown. God was about to do something miraculous. And isn't it the miraculous that draws crowds? Isn't it the miraculous that brings the shifts to our culture? Isn't it the miraculous that dethrones injustices within government, dethrones injustices in religion, dethrones injustices, period? It is the miraculous. It's when a higher power, a higher stream of consciousness comes in and says, you say this, but I say this. And at that point, there's a line in the sand that says, the first to cast the stone, the first that has been without sin shall cast the stone. Puts a line in the sand and begins to make people think again. And so a lot of you hearing this, you have that power, that authority. You have been pretending for a long time that you don't have the solution, but you have been the one in the room with the solution. And so how do you begin to manifest and materialize the powerful person that you have been created to be on this earth, in this time and in this space, right now, right here? How do you do that? You begin to take steps of faith. You begin to take and start to massage these steps and become familiar with encountering the Creator in the unknown. You begin to take steps of faith in the unknown and begin to become familiar of the Spirit within the darkness. It says, there's a scripture where it says God cloaks himself in darkness. Literally, he hides himself into that place where you meet. And when you meet, that place begins lit up. And you are in a dark place that gets lit up. There's a lot of stuff. I'll just say that in plain English. Not a lot of people have been there, or you haven't been there yet. So it's a place of exploration. It's a place of new beginnings. It's a place of Genesis and all the things and tools and revelation and wisdom and understanding, knowledge, all of those things that you find relationally, intimacy. It was your journey. You went along the way and people helped you get along that way. You can now use those tools and use that experience now to pass on not only to your children generations, but all of the people, to all of humanity. You begin to redeem the times and restore the things around you because you took a step out in faith into a place in darkness and you met God and experienced God, and through that place that whole thing got lit up and you found treasures there. It says seek after wisdom more than ruby, seek after understanding, seek after these places, and God usually hides these places into the darkness. He's been saying go to this nation. He's been saying start this business, start this career, help this person, go visit this person, go forgive this person. And this is the beauty, the enigma, the Rubik's Cube almost, I should say, when you live a life in the Spirit of God. I know that God is love, and God is leading us to a life of love, the highway of love. And through that, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, mind has not conceived the beautiful, miraculous, unimaginable, glorious good things that God has for your life, for my life, for all of our lives. I'll just leave it at that. I just hope you're blessed. I just pray